Welcome to another episode of
Dirty Talk
Vegas. Yes, where we talk to the bold,
stories unfold,
from the young to the old,
and nothing's off limits to be told. It's your girl Carlucci. You can talk to me about your coochie or whatever else you have on your mind. And you know it's my girl,
Essie Love, aka Tomato Head, because I'm gonna keep your head spinning.
What's up, y'all? It's another episode, another day, and we are in the land of November. It's November, and do you know what that means? Do you know what that
Fall
means?
Fall is here.
Fall is here. We just had Thanksgiving. It's about to. I mean, we just had Halloween. It's about to be Thanksgiving.
It's cuddle season.
Beans, greens, tomatoes.
Yams, mac and cheese.
I'm ready for all that. Ready for all that.
Me too.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
You already know mac and cheese.
That has to have my vote too. I also like the stuffing.
Stuffing is good. I like, sometimes to go and try different people's stuffings because they always make it just a little different. They all got their own little extra spices or not extra spices they put in it. So it's like, I want to try theirs and theirs and theirs. And some people put like extra ingredients like cranberries in it. I'll be like, oh.
One of the best stuffings that I've ever had was my Uncle Drake stuffing, and he used to make this stuffing with smoked oysters. And you have to like seafood for this, but it was so bomb. It was so bomb. And then he would do like an all seafood Thanksgiving with crawfish, lobster, crab legs, salmon.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it was bomb. I'm ready
the best stuffing I ever had, it was about 12 inches. Girl. I was like, yes, thanks every day.
I'm sure that was a special kind of stuffing. So you know what that also means though, since you're talking about freaks, you know what season it is, right?
Say again?
You know what season it is, right?
Oh my God, it's the freak season of the year. Freaks come out now. No, they come out in November. Yeah.
Yes, the freaks come out in November. Scorpios, what's up, all my Scorpios out there? It's your season. And
we love our Scorpios. I love Scorpios. Okay, let me tell you something about Scorpios.
Tell me what you got to say.
I must love a freak because Scorpios are like 80% of my exes. I don't know, there's such an attraction when it comes to Scorpio. I met a Scorpio today too, and I was just like, whoa.
Instant attraction or what?
I wouldn't say instant attraction, but yeah, probably instant attraction because I was attracted to him. And usually when I'm attracted to somebody, they're attracted to me. So it kind of just goes hand in hand. But I was just like, you could get it. But I got it instead. I got a nice little massage from the Scorpio and a very good gentleman and did not go overboard. So that was a plus. I really like that. So
okay, well, I'm trying to get a back rub. Where you at, Scorpio?
Yeah, you got to get your massages in, ladies.
Well, for the month of November, the Scorpios, they need to learn to lean in or they either need to let go. They're going to be facing questions in their life as November begins. It's right at the heart of the eclipse season. And a pair of eclipses on Taurus/Scorpio axis are going to be revealing who's really on the team, Sagittarius. So y'all need to watch out, okay? You need to see who's on the team and who's just along for a free ride. You feel me? And you need to start trying to be aware of this from the end of October about to the mid of November. Okay, Scorpio. So make sure you guys are being aware of that. And then also your sun is in the 12th house of healing. and closure into November 22nd as well. So this is going to be a great time for you to kind of get in, dig deep, try to do some self-healing, work on that trauma that you might be having. You might be feeling sleepy or introspective, and that's completely normal right now for your time. You need to use this time to release those people and those situations that have been dragging you down. And you need to get some feng shui in your life. Maybe move around some furniture. You feel me? Okay, Scorpio? And then on November 8th, which is tomorrow is November 8th, there's going to be a total lunar eclipse. Okay.
Yes.
And it's going to land in Taurus, and it's going to be activating that sixth house of health, helpful people and organization. It's going to get you ready for a wild reconfiguration of your day-to-day schedule. So it just sounds like you're in there for a wild ride this month. And then when it finally gets down to Turkey Day, it's going to be a whole new ball game. And you're going to be kicking off the end of the month if you follow those things that I just told you. Your Sagittarius new moon starts with a fresh 6-month cycle for you guys, and you're going to get an extra gift because you're going to have a ruling planet in Jupiter, and it's going to end a 4-month retrograde. Okay.
You know what Jupiter
All right, y'all.
means,
So if you guys are the Sagittarius, you guys are making things happen. All right. So make sure that you guys are being aware.
We sure are.
And enjoy your Turkey Day and all that other good stuff, because it's going to be a good season for y'all. Go ahead, Sagittarius.
Yeah, good season for us. This is about time, though. You got to understand, this has been a long time coming for Sagittarius. Like, usually, like, we always hear, like, oh, you're going to go through it. Oh, you got to get over this hump. Oh, there's another hump you got to get over. You got to get over this another hump. And it's just like an ongoing thing. It's like, okay, we get it. Get over the hump, you know? But this year, it was just like, it's all you.
Yes.
Your humps.
Well, you guys got synergy. You guys got the synergy with the Scorpios. The Scorpios and the Sagittarius are winning. The new moon's going to go into Sagittarius, and then it's going to start taking over. And then, Scorpio and Sagittarius, you guys are winning. Scorpio season, Sagittarius winning at the end of the month. Do your thing, people.
Hey, put in them lottery tickets, all the above. We're winning right now, okay? If you ain't got a
right,
go get you one, because we winning. We coming for the win.
Do you know any famous Scorpios?
Do I know any famous Scorpios?
Yeah, do you know any famous Scorpios?
Oh, I do not.
Kendall Jenner.
Okay.
She was born November 3rd. Yeah, she has a reputation as the quietest of the Kardashian Jenner clan. And since she's a Scorpio, that might be intentional.
They stay to them.
You know who else?
Scorpios. They kind of stay to themselves. They don't have to be like in the limelight. Notice Kendall, she's the only one that doesn't really have to be in the limelight. She doesn't have to be like me. Of course she likes it. She stands out, but she's not all about that. And that's what I love about Scorpios. Like, they don't have to be in everybody's face.
You know who's my favorite Scorpio?
Who?
Drake, bitch. Hey. Shout out, Poppy. Where you at, though?
Shout out to Drake. I love Drake. I
love you, Drake. Drake was born on October 24th, 1986. 1986 in the building. Drake is such a Scorpio that he named an entire freaking album Scorpion after his sign.
Nice.
Right?
Okay. That's why him and Nicki Minaj get along so well, because she's the Sag and he's the Scorpio. See? Girl, we love our
Scorpio Sag connection. Maybe. Yeah. Where's that Scorpio at that hooked up my little Sag over there? Y'all gonna have to get a little love connection going on. Maybe he could do the 1-2 step like Sierra. She's also a Scorpio.
Hey, Cece in the house.
Yeah, Sierra shows up how Scorpios use the revenge to fuel their own success. She said that when she did one of her songs, Sorry, she said, I think it's really cool to embrace the pain of something that may have hurt you and be able to express it through music. So Sierra's doing her 1-2 step.
I love it. Gotta love
And then the
Spark.
last one, rounding out the Scorpio season, is Ryan Reynolds with your fine ass. He was born October 23rd, 1976. He is a Scorpio, and his wife, Blake Lively, who she's beautiful, is a Virgo, making them astronomically a compatible match. Oh.
Oh, Scorpio and Virgo. Virgo. How y'all Virgos? Because you know the men y'all all over the place. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
That's it for your dirty horoscope.
Hey, I
What
love
else
it.
we
I
got?
love it. Sounds like some good stuff coming up. So I cannot wait for our signs to get it this year.
Yes, yes, that's what's
Awesome.
up.
Well, what else do we have in the news?
I
Carlucci.
have I have all kinds of things in the news. Actually, there's a lot of things going on right now, in case you didn't know, with the political situation over in Russia. They're doing things hella dirty, but they're doing it dirty and they're getting their butts kicked. So that front is kind of developing right now. Got that dirty news. I also I don't know if you've heard this,
What?
but there is going to be, I guess it's only dirty if you were getting burnt before. There's going to be a new condom that's going to come out, and the condom will be able to test an STD. It'll change colors. Yes, girl. So you can find out if you're trying to give you the right
I wonder
away.
how many people are going to find that.
If
Okay,
you see
let's
that
go.
rubber
Let's
change
do it. I
colors,
love it.
you know you gotta go.
You better make that shit thin as fuck because ain't nobody trying to wear no thick ass condom. Okay, that part.
It doesn't say the density. It says that it's the regular condom, and that it'll change colors depending on the STD.
That's what's up. I love it. Great idea. Whoever came up with that. Awesome sauce. So I have a couple things in the news that I wanted to discuss as well. And one of
Okay.
them was kind of goes with the topic that we're going to be talking about later today. But the topic is with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, and his ex-wife was talking basically to the media saying that Dwayne Wade was using the changing of his son daughter, um, the transgender change. He was using that as exposure to gain more money. I mean, not that he really needs it. He's a basketball player. His wife is an actress, a well-known actress at that. I mean, they really don't need the extra money, but she was saying that he was getting clout from that and getting money from that, and she just didn't feel like that is something that should have been exposed until she is like 18 and of age to decide, like, do they really want to go through that, because she's still at a very tender age. And he clapped back like, nah, this is got nothing to do with money. This is, so people can see what it's like and all that, whatever you may have it. So my question was, do you think that parents should wait till a kid is 18 to like really say like, okay, this is what my child decides? Because personally, I know people who have children who decide to, and see, here's a great example. I know parents that, like, they find out their kid likes the same sex. They just kind of like, um there was so much non-support before their children, for them, that when they see it in their children, they're like all for it. So it's just like they push it almost onto the children, like, yeah, that's great, you love women, you're gay, okay, you're gay now, like that's what you are. And it's like, how do you know, like they could still be experimenting, and I have a daughter, for example, who I felt like she was experimenting. So when she told me she liked girls, I was just like, hey, I wasn't like, yeah, girl power, go for the girls. Yeah, it's all about girl. I didn't do none of that. I was like, okay, whatever, you going through whatever you're going through. Okay, that's fine. And if you're not, hey, I still support you. But I didn't like press either way. And do you know,
Mhm.
as she is now, she's dating a boy again. So I mean, like, they're very subject to change in direction of what they want to do, especially at such a young age when they're trying to make this decision that they want to be like 13, 12 years old, trying to decide that they want to be this and that and this and that. what do you think is an appropriate age to just finally say, okay, this is their belief and this is the way it should go, or this is how I should present them and all this? Like, is there a time frame for that, or just what? Like, what do you do as a
I
parent?
mean, I think it's so hard, right? Because it's like on the one hand, some people just know you. I mean, I've seen people that it's like you just know. It's like, okay, if this kid says I'm in the wrong body, I'm gonna believe you because everything about this kid is the opposite sex of, as they were born. And so I kind of get that. But then at the same time, like you said, kids are kids. And like I also have seen it go the other way where like the parents were super supportive, let the kid go through like basically the whole transition, and then they decide, just kidding, I am the sex that, I was assigned at birth or whatever. So I think it's tricky. I think honestly, it really has to be up to each individual family. But I would think as a general rule, I would hope that you would at least be 18 before you make those types of decisions, just because it's like you're first of all, your brain's not even done growing at 18. You don't reach full maturity until you're like 25, 30 years old.
That
So
part.
just think about that as well. You don't even know who you are yet. And so like making drastic changes that can't be undone seem a little much. But then at the same time, I guess the opposite side of that is like if you really feel like you were in the wrong body mentally, I mean, I wouldn't be able to stand it either. I love being a woman. I am so happy every day when I wake up and I look at myself in the mirror. So I don't know. I don't know what it would feel like to be a guy. And I've never desired. I mean, I guess we've all
Listen,
like thought like, what would you do if you had a dick for one day or something like that? But like,
love
I don't know.
being outside
So
instantly. Moving that shit,
definitely
I'm
gonna
thinking
pee
on the
standing up
sidewalk.
someplace.
Gives a fuck. I'm peeing everywhere. No more bathrooms for me. Yeah.
I would definitely take Rosie Palm for a walk.
That part. Like,
I mean, I would do all the things. I would do the elephant trunk in the mirror. I would do all those things. But I've never had the mental desire to be a man. So I don't know. I don't know. I am accepting of what people tell me they're going through, and fuck, I don't give a fuck what you want me to call you. Just don't call you late for dinner, right?
that
So,
I
ton- well, tonight our guests, we're actually going to talk to somebody who deals with the transgender world. So that's actually interesting. And they're gonna kind of tell us, how they started dipping and dabbling in that, and like what that all means and all that kind of good stuff.
love it.
So that'll be a little bit later. So I think I don't know. I don't know. I think it's super. I mean,
Okay, well,
their
they're
their
at the
daughter,
studio
whatever, was on
door,
a.
so I'm gonna let them in.
Are they here?
Yeah, already at at the studio door.
All right, let them in.
Okay, okay. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's really incognito. Dun dun dun.
Dun,
Oh,
dun,
they talk.
dun.
Welcome to Dirty Talk Vegas.
Hello, Mr. San Diego. Uh-oh.
Nice background.
Who let the dogs out?
Thank you. We are so happy to have you on the show and to be giving us an account of what you go through, your everyday life, and just the experience of it all. Because, I honestly believe we're just a show and we are here to experience things in just whichever way we feel pleasurable and at our highest vibration. So, Carly, introduce us. Who do we have here?
All right, you guys, we have Mr. San Diego. Hey, Mr. San Diego, how you doing tonight?
What's happening? Thanks for having me.
For sure. So, I guess, as I always say, let's just get right into it.
Let's jump
I
into
have
it
questions,
then.
and you have the
Fire away.
answers. Fire away. All right. I don't know. I guess when were you first know that you were attracted to I guess lady boys?
It's funny. I remember the exact day.
Wow.
It was in college. I was at my friend's house. He threw me a Penthouse magazine, and I was in the back looking at the ads, and I saw my first ever trans woman. And right then and there, I knew something was a little different about me. And then I actually have the magazine.
Do you still have the
it.
magazine?
I kept it.
Okay.
It was probably 1998.
Ooh, dang.
Okay. 1998. So, you were in college, you were college age. Before that, did you have any inkling? Did you know anything? Did you feel, did you just
Never.
date women?
Only women.
Was that your
Cisgender
first
women.
time being introduced to a trans?
No, we had a trans girl in our high school, but
She wasn't doing it.
wasn't attractive and was just very flamboyant and got beat up a lot.
Were you curious though when you?
Not one bit. In fact, it was almost a big turnoff.
Wow. Okay, so what is the big turn on about it? Like, is it the fact of it being the best of both worlds?
Um,
Or the understanding? Like, what is the connection that just goes, wow? I feel like they're built, they're definitely like their bodies are built like to the T.
Yeah, I don't know. I really can't put a finger on it. I mean, maybe it's the uniqueness of it all.
Just different.
Exactly.
You like different.
I just really don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I know one thing about the sex part that I like is the visual gratification.
In what way?
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, when you're pleasing a dick.
True. But you don't know when you're pleasing a woman?
No, you do, but it's not as visually gratifying.
I see you. I see. Okay.
It's a different kind of stimulation.
Right. I mean, it is something fascinating about watching a dick rise. I mean, I have to say it's it's pretty amazing. Like, wow.
Essie's a fan of that.
It doesn't stand up on its own. Did you ever see that? Sometimes they bounce. I'll be like, oh, he's excited. I love it. I'm a bit of a freak. Excuse me.
So, oh my goodness. Okay, so, all right. So I guess you said it was visually stimulating. What's the, I guess there's like a reputation around the whole lady boy thing. Do you feel like there's a stigma around it, or do you feel free to do whatever you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the city that I'm in, it's a little different than it is across the country for sure, and even definitely in other countries. So this city offers you the ability to definitely be more free with that and fear the consequences less than some less progressive areas. I think that has a lot to do with it. And then also the access that a lot of these women have out here makes them way more passable. So it's like a combination of things, I think. But
yeah,
passable. What is passable?
I mean, it just depends on the setting. I guess the biggest thing for me is that people like them and then people like me are probably two of the most discriminated against people in the country. And that's really the only reason I agreed to do this and talk about this stuff, is just because I hope it kind of helps break the stigma a little bit. And if I didn't know that there's some hating ass haters out there, I wouldn't even have a disguise on, because I'm really not ashamed at all of my sexuality or experiences. In fact, I'm actually pretty proud of it, because I think most people one, are closed-minded, and two, are scared shitless.
Damn. And that's not cool, because everybody should be free to just feel and do as they want behind closed doors. Like, to me, what you do, that's on you. I have you been to the or heard of the place where like a lot of trans women are at? It's like a country like in the Philippines or something. They're so beautiful. Have you seen it? Either one of you?
I've never been, but I know of such places.
Yeah, like they're in other countries where they like there's a lot that live there, like they're predominantly out there. And so like when you come there, you kind of know that's the place you're coming to, and they get visitors from all over all the time, you know.
Yeah, but that's still a lot. It's just mainly a prostitution, which is
Oh,
not what I'm interested in.
oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just
Or
saw
what?
how like beautiful they were. I was just amazed, like, whoa, like I would have never known.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
I think that's part of the attraction to me is, first off, I mean, whatever's between your legs is really not that important unless you're the person fucking them. So what to me, sometimes I do enjoy, maybe showing one of my completely straight friends a photo or two of maybe a trans girl that I'm seeing, and then having them tell me how hot they think they are. And then I just keep the secret,
mm,
because at the end of the day, it's not really my story to tell. I tell my story, and I'm pretty open about it, but for the most part, but I don't tell other people's story, unless they want their story told, and there's a lot of different types. I mean, some trans women I feel like are super proud of who they are and what they are, I mean, I think they all are to some extent, but there's varying degrees, I think a lot of it also depends on the stage of transition they're in, because like a trans girl who embraces her dick has a lot less stuff on their mind than someone who doesn't,
And
interesting.
and so I guess that like so there's like pre-op and post-op. That basically means like if they've had an operation or not to remove it. Have you been with both?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it feel like a real woman?
I guess it depends on who did the work.
Wow. Oh God.
I've seen some that you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and just a lot of factors that go into that. But it's just different, because now you're trying to be cisgender, and I mean, it just changes the dynamic at that point. Like, to me, a girl who goes through that and is willing to go that far, to me, there's zero difference to me between that girl and a cisgender chick. Right? So at that moment, when they go that far, they kind of almost cease to be trans at that point, I guess. I don't know. To me.
So are you saying you prefer it pre-op?
If I had to choose a vagina, I would probably choose a pre-op versus a post-op.
And can we explain the differences?
Yeah. I mean, a pre-op, well, I mean, not for all women, but they get wetter on their own, a girl who has had the surgery probably has to use a little bit of lube, right?
Yeah.
I guess the biggest difference is that a female vagina goes like this, right? A transgender vagina goes, it's more of a funnel.
Well, damn, I thought mine was more of a funnel. I mean, I like this. So, I mean, I'm pretty close. Like, what are we talking about here?
They're usually a lot, they're usually tight.
Yeah, women, yeah. Mine's, what are you talking about? Because we keep ours tight too. Ours don't be like this. Wait a minute here.
Well, like if your vagina was shaped like a reverse funnel, an inward funnel, you'd have a hard time giving birth.
Well, what the fuck?
Yep. Wrap your mind around that.
Oh shit. Well, that's
So,
true because we do gotta put some shit out. Okay.
yeah.
I
It's a
can't. I just always felt like mine was just like mine's like
I wouldn't know. I haven't met you yet, so I can't
I'm
say.
just saying that's what I feel like. Cause when I haven't had sex in a long time, I feel like I'm a virgin all over again. I'll be like, good Lord, what is going on?
Yeah,
Oh,
I keep it right.
man, that shit is not right. I'd be thinking something's wrong. Shit's not feeling right. What's going on? But
Wait, so what
Yeah.
do you so then of a real vagina
and a sewed in vagina.
which one do you prefer?
Definitely. I mean, for the most part, real, but my sample size of post-op trans girls isn't that big. But I mean, there's just really nothing that can take the place of a real vagina.
Nothing.
So who do you like? Do you feel a connection? Do you feel like the same type of connection that you feel like? Could you see yourself like settling down with a trans woman?
I don't know. I mean, I tried to date one for a little while, but it was long distance, didn't work out that great. And then, I mean, I've met a few around here locally that are still up for consideration. I don't know. I'm kind of past the whole fetish part of it. Now it's just like I see women who I'm just looking for, the good fit for me.
But now
I
that
would cross that bridge.
now that you've experienced with that, wouldn't like a woman, just a full woman, just like plain just woman, like get boring to you? You'd be like, I need that little extra
Nah, because I mean, like I said, I had those feelings when I was, almost a teenager still, right? So I've had plenty of time to experiment,
Uh-huh.
and there's always, X videos and Pornhub when needed.
Yes. So is this a huge community or a small community of people that I mean, I don't know because I don't know who's who. I mean, I would never know
Yeah, you probably. I mean, for a lot of probably you wouldn't,
because they
but I
don't
would
pay
say
attention like that. Like
it's relatively small.
it's small community. Okay, like I
Yeah.
just need to know like how many of them are out here so I can kind of like, okay, do I need to be aware? But I mean, I'm not a man, so I feel like as the woman, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I don't know exactly. I couldn't give you. I tend to not hang out where they congregate.
yeah.
You know,
So is there something you could tell men that may not want to be with a transgender that you can kind of tell from the gate so that they don't get caught up in a bad situation where like I didn't know, but sometimes I feel like they know they're experimenting, but they try to say they don't know. So is there something that okay, well, you'll know if
uh, not with today's
Like, are
surgeries.
there any telltale signs?
not even the Adam's apple because they get that taken out.
Yeah, I mean, if they haven't done that, then maybe you could probably spot that.
I think it's the laugh. I think it's the way the titties bounce. I tell guys all the time, watch how the titties bounce.
Sometimes it might be. I think their voice would be
Their voice, their laughter.
maybe, but not for all of them. That's what's really, you know what I mean? That's what's really. I mean, I could introduce you to several that you would have no idea.
Because their voice is even high.
It just sounds feminine. Everything about them's feminine.
What about their laugh? It's the laugh that gives it away.
I would know I'm not that funny.
You only give them a laugh.
I don't think so. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing that's kind of funny that I've picked up on, and it's their appetite.
Okay.
They still eat like men sometimes.
Like even like eat like men, or just their appetite is bigger.
Well, that's like the one thing that they don't think about. But I mean, I'm someone who's really observant.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a tell for me, but only for me, because I don't know. But that to me is a tell, like, because I mean, I've gone out to dates and I've cooked dinners for a lot of trans women, and they They eat like men. Like they clean
So
the
that's
plate.
both elbows on the table.
No, not so
Going
much
in
like
their
that. More
mouth.
about how fast they eat. How fast and how much? Like they'll eat.
Getting the grub on.
You never
Getting
Hell
the
been
yeah.
grub
around a
on.
skinny girl, have you?
It's funny.
Do you worry about
Girls
the
don't say.
labels or anything? Like what do you label yourself sexually? Like are you pansexual? Are you straight? Are you gay? Like do you have a label?
I mean, I would probably consider myself like straight just because, but I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own definition of whatever they want to think. So whatever they think, that's what I am.
So my question is, if you get into a relationship, say you decide to not date trans anymore, and you get married or whatever, and you start a relationship, do you tell your wife to be that that is what interests you at one time?
Oh, that would, I don't, it just depends on who it is because it, I don't think it really like completely defines me, number one. But I mean, the one girl that I was closest to marrying in my life, she thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Loved it.
Have you been in a throuple situation with like you and a girl and a trans?
Yes.
Ooh, do tell. Is that erotic?
Yeah.
Super erotic.
Yeah. I mean, it still made me jealous though. I mean, even like seeing my girlfriend at the time, you know, bottoming for a trans girl, like just seeing her being pleasured by someone else, like made me jealous, you know. But it was like an acceptable level of jealousy. Like I would never be able to or want to watch her get banged by another guy, right? But in that situation, it was just enough jealousy to still be hot.
Wow. Okay. That's see. I get that. I get
The
that.
problem is, let me tell you, like trans girls, for one, they're not into that very. I mean, if it's two guys, sure, they'll be all aboard. But if it's another girl, even another trans girl, like that's not as easy to. They're not like you think that would be something easy to swing, but it's really not because trans girls are not typically attracted to girls.
Yeah.
So finding a trans girl that's into other trans girls or into other girls is rare.
Uh-huh. I see.
Yeah. That is not.
So what's the craziest situation you found yourself in the world of trans things?
Shit. Um.
Transitions.
Oh, I have a good one. Okay. So the first trans girl that I was ever really attracted to, I met her out. We met on a, I think it was like Plenty of Fish or something back in the day. This was like a while ago. This was, you know, a long time ago. One of the first, if not the first, I think maybe the first trans girl I ever slept with, if I remember correctly. So I met her out at some bar. We went back to her parents' house where she was in like her bedroom was all the way in the back of the house, but to get to it, we had to go through the whole house. And this was late, and I was pretty drunk at the time. And I swear to God, first experience, all the stigmas. And think about, you know, especially 10 years ago, how like, you know, much stigma was around, just like things like HIV and things like that, right? I'm already a bit of a germaphobe and someone who, you know, that type of stuff gives me anxiety. Okay. First time ever, the condom broke.
Oh, whoa. I know you was tripping.
Condom broke.
Wow.
I didn't even give a fuck. I just kept going.
So do you get tested often?
Every 6 months if I'm single.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
I mean, I try to play safe, you know, for the most part.
So do you take any preventative measures? Like are you on what's the name of that pill? Like there's some pill you can take to prevent it.
Listen, I look at PrEP for one. People need to realize that like there's a lot of cisgender women out there that are giving people HIV too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just gay men, and it's not just, you know, trans women that are running around giving that to people or have it. It could be anyone. So, I mean, if you're having unprotected sex, whether it's, you know, butt or vagina, you're probably better to be on it than off of it.
Right.
You know? But I just say use protection, you know, unless you're out there, you know, like crazy. But the thing about HIV that a lot of people don't know is like it's a lot easier to get it if you're the bottom, not the top.
What?
But I mean, it's still out there, is all I'm saying. And it's really hard to get it from oral. It's almost impossible to get it from oral. It really comes from dick to butt or dick to vagina sex. I mean, it is easier to get it dick to butt, but you could get it either way.
Interesting.
Well,
And then the other thing too about HIV that a lot of people don't understand is most people, if they get HIV, they're going to go on a pill that makes it impossible for them to transmit it. You know, so it's not the same thing it once was.
Right. That
Right?
so are you still scared of it though?
Of course. I'm scared of catching a cold.
No, that's right. I'm scared of catching any fucking thing. Shit.
I think I might be more afraid of catching COVID though, just because I've seen it disable people and there's no cure.
Cats?
HIV is going to be cured in 5 years. It's already cured. They just haven't released it widespread yet, but they've already found cures for that.
True that.
That Magic Johnson?
Well, Magic Johnson might not be, I don't know if he's cured. He's just probably undetectable, but they actually are taking it a step further now to where it's actually curable.
Oh, wow.
Yep. In fact, they're using HIV, strains of HIV to cure cancer.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yep. It's much more understood now. But I mean, I try not to live my life in fear, you know?
Yeah. You live
So what's the
care life. I love it.
Yeah, what's the main thing that you want people to take away from your story?
I was just telling my buddy this. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the presence of fear, and you do it anyway. And life's too short to sit at home scared and wonder what could have been. You know, you got to just go for it. I think there's a lot of men out there who, if they have any exposure to it, may not say it out loud, but they're probably somehow, either whether it's a fetish or they're genuinely attracted to a trans woman, I don't feel like they should hesitate for 1 second to explore that side. Because no matter how it ends up, you're going to learn a lot about yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
Huh.
And frankly, I mean, the other thing I just don't like about it is these trans women have a very hard time. They're very discriminated against. And the more people that are, you know, breaks down that wall, that stigmatism, the easier time they're going to have and the better we're all going to be.
Yeah, so get to know them.
Yep.
And know where they're coming from.
Yeah, and it doesn't always come from trauma. That's the other thing I hate is like a lot of people think someone's that way. You know, it just like used to be the same thing when people, you know, started coming out as being gay. Oh, something must have happened to them. You know, it's like some kind of sexual trauma or something, right? But I mean, I have had nothing like that in my life. Never.
No.
Like I have not been part or seen anything like that that would have impacted my life that way. And I know a lot of trans women who are both ways, you know, have had trauma and have not. But I also know just as many cisgender women that have had trauma and have not. So I think mainly that they're born a certain way. And that's just how it is. And there's all types of degrees of what that is for everybody. It's just, I think there's just not as black and white as people try to make it. There's nothing about human sexuality that's black and white.
That's true. It's all a spectrum. That's true.
Is. Yeah, and you just got to find your place in it. And wherever you are in that spectrum doesn't mean you're going to be there for life either. You know, you just learn through experience and experimentation. And, you know, it's better than sitting at home wondering and never knowing. I'd rather know.
Yeah, I'm learning to become more open. I don't know if I would ever try to get with a transgender because I just feel like that's too much going on.
I think what I don't understand is that girls are into girls, why they're not more into trans women. Because listen, if you mainly like dick, right? And you like a guy you mainly like getting fucked by a dick. Right. Why would you want to go be with a girl that's got a vagina when you could be with a girl that's got a dick?
Makes sense.
Anyway, I tried to get that put onto a t-shirt, but they said I couldn't wear it to work.
Aw, that makes so much sense.
I'm trying to unify cisgender, bi-curious women with bi-curious transgender women and just sort of be there to facilitate.
We need more
So
pictures.
you want to make a trans cis orgy?
Yes.
We need more pictures.
Yes, that would be
Like
great.
silhouettes of like.
I don't even care about orgy, just a threesome fine.
A threesome?
Yeah, one threesome at a time. I'll just change everyone's mind.
I think if they got out there more and went to like the Green Door, what we have out here, Six Club, you know, maybe people could, you know, get used to seeing it and be like, okay, so that's what's going
Well,
on.
I don't know that because there is a trans bar in town, and it's. I wouldn't say that like. I don't know. I would just say that's not probably where you're gonna meet my type. You know, like you're gonna probably maybe get a bad taste in your mouth because there's gonna be a lot of like cross dressers there, not necessarily full-time trans girls. There's a big difference.
I see.
A huge difference.
Uh-huh.
For everything, from the smell of them to everything. It's just not, they're not anywhere near on the same level of feminine.
Wow.
Number one. You know, and I think if you see them in that light, you know, it might not be as attractive. You just met one downtown at a club, didn't know, and found out later, you know. I just hope that like a guy who, you know, made vibe with the chick at a bar and takes her home and then finds out that there's a surprise between her legs doesn't do anything violent. Doesn't mean you have to go all the way through with it, but you know, that I think that's a big fear amongst a lot of trans women is the secret and the wrong person finding out and then putting themselves in danger.
Right.
Because some men, you know, just are so close-minded that they just can't even imagine like that. And it's more their own fear and, you know, misunderstanding that's triggering that anger. It's not like the person pulled the wool over their eyes, you know.
I think they feel like they've been tricked and bamboozled, and that's what gets them upset. Like, just be upfront with me and let me know before we get in my car and go to my place, and I'm getting all horny and shit, and then all of a sudden, like, there's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I guess I don't know. I just, if you were attracted to the person with the pants on, why are you all of a sudden not now? I mean,
men get upset when women get them to the house and they feel like they're about to get some pussy and don't get no pussy and men.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it's an issue with men. Men just when they have something in their mind, they're ready to go. Like if you're not ready to go with it, you shouldn't even put yourself in that situation because men just some men, I should say, not all men, but of course some men, they're just extra when it comes to that. So I can see how that can happen, but it's not right, but I can see how it can happen. I feel like if I was a trans, or I would just kind of like let it be known, like, hey, I'm not your type. If they continue to be like, yeah, you are, I'll be like, look, I got a dick, okay? You know, leave me alone. And if they
then all women should have to wear name tags to say I have a loose pussy or I have a tight pussy, and all men should have to wear name tags to say I have a big dick, I have a little dick.
But that's I'm for that. Can I vote for that? Because
that's kind of a given. I mean, this is something new that has came about. You gotta understand it's not something that we've seen back like in the 90s. You didn't really see that. So it's like I don't know, going into the store and all of a sudden they don't got food in there, they got 7, and you're like, well, why y'all didn't tell me you're not selling food in here? Like every other store like this is selling food. Like, well, you should have asked, or you should have, you know what I mean? Like, why should we tell you? It's like, nah, you guys need to let us know there's no food in here. Why am I putting it in here? Like, what is going on? I don't know. I'm bad at analogies, but that's just how I feel. Like, give me some kind of heads up. I don't like to be.
Well, I think if you're in the agreement of going back to someone's house with them to have like with the intent of like getting down, then
Yeah.
that's probably a good conversation to have, especially with someone brand new. Because number one, you just don't know that person well enough where you just, it's better to have that conversation in public, right?
Yes.
So that you're safe, I guess. If I was a trans girl, I would just do it in public before I left, but I would definitely have it before I got to the house and was alone.
I mean, as a woman, I'm trying to ask all the questions now. I'm gonna be like, do you have a baby mama? Do you have bad credit?
Yeah.
What's in between your legs? I need to know.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
well, I had fun talking to you. I want you to
I
come
got one
back.
last thing to
Maybe
say
you can
about
bring one of your friends.
I have one last thing that I probably should have included. That's, you guys will like this kinky little tidbit,
What?
right? I think it's hard for a man to eat a pussy as good as another woman, right?
It's hard.
It's also hard for a cisgender woman to suck a dick as good as a trans girl.
I believe that. I've seen a man suck a dick. I was like, damn. Got me beat. I didn't do it. Whoa.
Well, they just know how the nerves function. Like, you girls know where the pleasure centers are too.
But men are so good at that. Okay, but I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be a close second. I'm just saying.
Okay, I let a woman try once and I refuse to ever do it again.
You didn't have the right woman.
Yeah, I know that. I knew that from the gate. I was just being like, okay, I'll be open-minded.
Well, I want you to come back, and I want you to bring somebody on that can talk about the other side. Maybe somebody that would be willing to tell us what it's like from the trans perspective. That would be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Well, one's been listening in this whole time, so I'll see if she would be down to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm definitely interested in that. And I want to thank you so much, Mr. San Diego, for coming on Dirty Talk tonight and giving us some information, giving us a little glimpse into your world so we can educate people. Because, at Dirty Talk, we believe love is love, and you love and let love and be loved.
That's right.
Well, thanks for letting me spread the good word. You guys have a good show. Appreciate you having me.
All right, we have some kinky fun tonight, Mr. Scorpio.
I'll come back some other time.
All right, sounds good.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Coming. That was
all right, you guys. That was pretty crazy.
What? Wow. Girl.
That was like, whoa, mind blown. That was a lot of information all at once. I want to thank Mr. San Diego again for being on the show tonight. I want to say what's up to all you freaky Scorpios once again. And it's about that time. You know what it is.
It is. And my light went out like at last minute. It was like, lights out, bitch. I was like,
out like a light, like a light, like a light. Yo, that's Drake.
But
bring it back full circle.
You guys came, huh? We're so happy.
I said bring it back full circle.
Yes, we're happy that you guys came and just checked out the show tonight and learned a little bit about transgenders and what they go through and what it's like, and just try to be more supportive out there when you do run across one. Don't be so negative. If they if you run into one and they didn't tell you they were transgender and you're feeling them or not feeling them, just try to remember it. We're all human beings. We're all trying to be comfortable in our own skin out here in this world, and it's hard as it is. So just be respectful and mindful of everyone and everybody, and just be love, spread love, all the above.
All the above. Well, on that note, I think it's that time.
Yeah.
Paychecks and
paychecks. We love you all. Thanks for coming and joining us. We'll see you guys next Monday with another show. Hopefully we'll have a trans on. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.